Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is the next lesson, of course, in learning Qaida, to be able to understand and to be able to read Quran and any Arabic text. This lesson is like all lessons, this is important, of course, but this is I consider double important, because in this lesson I will teach you something which is not a common practice exercised by the teachers, and it's only not because they lack the knowledge, it's only because their target audiences are only a specific group. So when I'm making these videos, I'm expecting the audience could be from anywhere, and that's why this whole lesson, this extra lesson actually. So the lesson is about stretch sounds. But when we want to discuss the stretch sounds, which the sounds are exactly the same in both Middle East and Asian styles, they have different way of writing, and that's the topic. There are differences between Middle Eastern way of writing and Asian way of writing the Quran. The main alphabet is the same, but all the Quran which are written or printed in Saudi Arabia, Middle East, all the Arab countries, and North Africa and Africa in general, and the Americas, those copies of Quran resemble a certain way of writing, and the Quran, the other way of writing is what I find in Asian countries like Pakistan, India, Afghanistan, and perhaps Bangladesh also. And that is a different way. The alphabet is same, but there is a subtle difference. So that is what I want to teach you today in this video, because it's quite possible that you go into a masjid or somebody gives you a Quran, or you find it in a library, and suddenly you see this strange way of writing and strange markings on the text, and you don't know how to use that. So this lesson is going to help you identify that. First of all, the way of writing style used in Middle East is what is called nasakh, which actually means to cancel, and because many centuries ago it was used to cancel another way of writing which was considered difficult. When Islam was spreading outside the Middle East, then they had to agree on a way of writing, and that this style nasakh was considered, because there was another style called Kufi that was a bit difficult to understand by an average person. Yeah, the Asian version is Nastaliq, and that's just a name. It's a special way of writing. Now if you notice here, I've left the example word just as it is. I've not written an example here, and I'm going to first write it, and then I'm going to show you examples from the actual Quran or the images which I found on the internet. Also some I scanned myself. So an example of nasakh way would be, let's say I'm going to write Alhamd, which is the first word of Surah Fatiha. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Alhamd. How Alhamd would be written in nasakh? It would be written like this: Alif, Lam, Ha, Mim, dal, alhamd. You see, all of the letters are at the same level. They are just all are touching this bottom line, and all are going in a sequence, in a series, one after the other, at the same level. So this is nasr, and this is the word alhamd. I'm going to write the same word in Nastali way of writing. I write alif, same way. I write lam, and then I write ha, then I write meme, and then I run out of space, right? So then I go up on the go in the sequence like so. Let me rewrite that for you again. So alif, lam, ha, meme, dal. I'm quite sure that everybody would be able to read it. It is alif, lam, ha, meme, dal. But you notice lam is at the top level, then comes ha, then comes meme, and then we run out of space between the lines, this space. So then we have no choice but to move forward, and then dal comes in front or afterwards. So this is Nastali, where the letters can be at different levels going down. When they run out of space, they go towards the left, which is right to left is the way of writing Arabic. So that's the difference. And now I'm going to show you two examples. On the right, you see example of Nastali. On the left, you see an example of Nasr. Both are the examples of Surah Fatiha. So you see here in Nasr, you have all the letters appearing at the same level, even here. Whereas in Nastaliq, you have this lam here, alhamd, lam here, ha here, meme at the bottom, and then dal ahead of it. In Alameen, you have lam here, beneath that is a meme, but then you run out of space, so you go forward, and then you have a ya and a noon. So this is a different way of writing, and I don't consider it extremely different. It's just a little bit different, not extremely different. So I can read both of them. This is Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, and this is also this here, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Excuse me. So this is an example of Naskh and Nastaliq, right? Another difference is, which is in the Middle Eastern and Asian style. The next difference is the writing of these stretches or the mud letters, and that is the actual topic for today. So the Naskh and Nastaliq was just extra information today. We go to stretch because that's our topic. Now, excuse me. The words of stretch are used to stretch the harakat, to stretch Fathah, Kasrah, and Dhammah. That's it. Nothing else. So you don't stretch Tanween. Tanween is the name of Fathatain, or double Fathah, or double Kasrah, or double Dhammah. Fathatain, Kasratain, Dhammatain. These are not stretched ever. The only thing which is stretched is the regular harakat, regular vowels, which is Fathah, Kasrah, and Dhammah. And there are two ways, even in the Middle Eastern way of writing, there are two ways of writing it, but we will come to that later. The first main difference is actually between Middle East and Asian styles. So in Middle East, it's called the what comes with the fatha to stretch the fatha is Alif Sagheera, or small alif, as I've written here, small alif. Let me move that a little here. Yes, excuse me for my, okay, very good. So small alif, Alif Sagheera is small alif. It looks small, it's just a notification. Ya Sagheera, so this is Ya Sagheera, this one here, you see, normally written as, you see here, like so, Ya, which is the last alphabet in the Arabic alphabet. It's Ya Sagheera. Excuse me. Its name is written in Arabic as Ya Sagheera or small Ya. Then is Wao Sagheera. This is Wao, you know that. It's a small Wao. Also, I wrote here small Wao in English. Wao Sagheera. So Alif Sagheera will always appear with a fatha. So if there is an example letter Ba and it has a fatha and you want to stretch it, you will have a small alif with it, or Alif Sagheera. So it will become Ba Fatha Alif Sagheera Ba, and the amount of stretch is opening and closing the finger. If you remember, we covered that fatha sound is to be stretched only as much as when you open the finger. That's it. So Ba Fatha only. Ba Fatha is Ba. That's it. Ba Fatha Ba. Ta Fatha Ta. But when you have stretch notification or indicator here, then you stretch it twice the haraka, which is Ba Fatha Alif Sagheera Ba, opening and closing. The duration, the time it takes to open and close the finger once is the amount of time to stretch this mud. These stretch letters are called mud, but they are small notifications, so that's why it's Alif Sagheera, Ya Sagheera, Wao Sagheera, or small mud. All of them, they are huruful mud, or the mud letters. So once again, Ba Fatha Alif Sagheera Ba, not Ba. Ba Kasrah. Normally Ba Kasrah only. If you say Ba Kasrah is B, but if you want to stretch it, you write Ba Kasrah Ya Sagheera, and you will see this small Ya here. B. And if it's a Dhammah, which is U, if you want to stretch that, then you use this notification here. So Ba Dhammah is just Ba Dhammah is Bu. But if you want to stretch it, then you will write a small Wao here, and it will be Ba Dhammah Wao Sagheera Bu. That's the amount of stretch you have. So this is Middle Eastern way. Now if you find a Quran written in Asian way, then you will not find this Ya Sagheera and Wao Sagheera, because it confuses people. So in Asia they thought, well, maybe we can simplify it. So what they did was, instead of writing Fatha and Alif Sagheera, they just said, we will just use Alif, and they called it vertical Fatha because they also wanted to use Alif beneath the letter, and they couldn't come up with a proper name. So what they did was, they said, since this is being used to stretch Fatha, so we'll just call it vertical Fatha. Since this here is going to stretch the Kasrah, which is beneath the letter, so we'll just call it vertical Kasrah. to indicate that it is to be stretched. And what do we do with the Dhammah? How do we stretch it? We can't use this one. So they come up with the idea that if we invert the Dhammah, so normally Dhammah is like this, right? They thought, okay, let's invert it and bit stretched also. That would be called inverted Dhammah, and we would know that we have to stretch it. So that's the way of Asian. That's the Asian way. So let me give this example here. I have this example. This is an example letter Ba. It just have this vertical Fathah. We call it vertical Fathah. It does not exist in the Middle Eastern version, so it's an Asian version. Vertical Fathah. It's a new term. Ba, vertical Fathah. Ba, exactly the same amount of stretch. Ba, 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 vertical Kasrah, beneath, vertical Kasrah. B, the amount of stretch is same. B, opening and closing the finger. The amount, the time it takes to open and close, that's the stretch. B. Then is Ba, inverted Dhammah, as I've written here, inverted Dhammah. Boo, boo. So this is the stretch differences between Middle East and Asian styles. And I'll give you excuse me, an example also. So I have this example from the same example I'm going to use here, which I used to explain the difference between Nasakh and Nasta'liq. The same example I'm going to use. So let's start from Bismillahir Rahman. So this Ma, you know this is pronounced Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ma, not Bismillahir Rahmanir. It's not manir. It's not money. It's mani. Bismillahir Rahmani Nir Rahim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So this meme is being stretched upwards because there's a Fathah. So it will be pronounced as Meme Fathah Alif Sagheera Ma Bismillahir Rahman. Right? In Asian way, you see Bismillah. This is just calligraphy, so just ignore this one. Bismillahir Rahman. Here you see meme, and you just see the vertical Fathah here. Ma. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And there's another there's another alif sort of thing here, which is vertical Kasrah. It's beneath the Ha here. Ha. He. Here you have this Kasrah and you have a Ya, which is a mud letter. So it does mean stretch. But Rahim, here is also Rahim, exactly the same, pronounced exactly the same. So that's just in the Bismillah. Now let's discuss Alameen. Alhamdulillahi. So Lillah, and here you have, in Asian way, you have vertical Fathah on top of the word Allah to highlight that this is Lillah. It's it's stretched. Here you don't see this Fathah. But since Arabs know that this is a Lafzul Jalala, it's Allah's name. So Ismul Jalala, sorry. It's Lafzul Jalala, Ismu Bari Ta'ala. So it has to be stretched. So they just stretch it themselves. They know how to do it. But Asians, of course, are non-Arabs. So they had to know how to do it. So they put an indication here that this has to be stretched. So this is a vertical Fathah. Lillah. Now we go forward. Rabbil and then you see this vertical fatha again, alamin, alamin. There are two examples. Right above a is a vertical fatha, right below mim there is a vertical kasra. Here if you go here you see Alhamdulillahi Rabbil a, and then a has a fatha and Alif Sagheera. So it's pronounced Ain fatha Alif Sagheera a, la mim kasra ya, mi. It's not me, it's not just me, because there is a ya here, which is harful mad. So mi, just like here, mi. So here what they did was they helped the non-Arabs to stretch it by indicating that there is a vertical kasra. Stretch it, alamin, alamin, alamin. Here's also alamin, alamin, and so on. It's also here iyyaka, and you see iyyaka, there's a vertical fatha, there is a fatha, and then there's this alif is being used, since it's part of the word, it's being used as a stretch. Nasta'in, you see this vertical kasra here beneath ain. Here is just kasra, but there is a ya which is used to stretch. So nasta'in, nasta'in. So it's pronounced and read exactly the same. And this is what I wanted to highlight. So I have a lesson from two different qaida. Here. Here. As you can see on the left, so this is the qaida nuraniya, and this is the qaida which is used by the person named, or by the ustad, or by the teacher named Imam Raza on the internet, and he's a big inspiration for me. I learned a lot from him. So this is the qaida used by him. This is the Middle Eastern style, so of course it is in Arabic. It says Dars Sabi, means 7th lesson. Alif Sagheera, Alif Sagheera, wal Ya Sagheera, wal Wao Sagheera, means Alif Sagheera, Ya Sagheera, Wao Sagheera, how they are written and how they are to be identified. This is on the right side is the example from a qaida from an Asian version. Yeah. So this is this is a Pakistani version or Asian version. Let me write 2 or 3 letters from here, then 2 or 3 letters here, and then I'll just write the last line from both qaida, because I'm going to do I'm going to do all of this lesson as an exercise in the next video. This is just the theory part, the explanation, and just 1 or 2 examples. So let's start from the Middle Eastern style. Ba fatha alif sagheera, ba, ba. Ya fatha alif sagheera, ya, ya fatha alif sagheera, ya. Okay. Now I do the same letters in this qaida here. On the right, Asian style would be ba vertical fatha, ba, or you can also call it just ba mad, ba, because this is used to be called mad also in plain words in Asian countries. Ba vertical fatha, ba, Ya vertical fatha, ya, ya. Alright, so these were the examples of stretching the fatha upwards. Let's do stretching the kasra downwards, which are here. So I start from the middle east side, which is Alif Kasrah Ya Sagheera. You see this small ya here? Alif Kasrah Ya Sagheera E Ha Kasrah Ya Sagheera He. And I have the same on this side here. Alif vertical kasra E. Alif vertical kasra E. Ha vertical kasra He. So now I go back to the Middle Eastern side, because now I'm going to cover the last sound and last stretch sound, which is oo. So Wao, Dhammah, Wao Sagheera. You see this small little, very small little Wao here? Wao, Dhammah, Wao Sagheera, Woo, Woo. Ha, Dhammah, Wao Sagheera, Hu, Hu. Hamza, Dhammah, Wao Sagheera, Oo, Oo. And the exact letters are here. Wao inverted Dhammah, Woo. Wao inverted Dhammah, Woo. Ha inverted Dhammah, Woo. Ha inverted Dhammah, Who. Hamza inverted Dhammah, Oo. Hamza inverted Dhammah, Who. Oh, sorry. Oo, not who. This is Hamza. Oo. The sound. All right. Now, if you are wondering that do I have to read these letters as these every time, like ba, fatha, alif, sagheera, ba? No. When you go through them and you do the exercise and you memorize it in your mind and you have a visual map, then you don't have to read them individually. You see that and then you just say ba, and that's the idea. That's why we are learning, right? That's why we are learning this way. But you have to practice. So what we'll do is I'll close this theory plus little example session here. This video, I'll close it now and I'll stop it now, and then I see you in the next lesson, which is the exercise for the same lesson, right? So see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.